When I was a boy, I had to choose a path, or fate would choose for me. I've hurt people, and I'm going to hurt more. I'm asking forgiveness for what I'm about to do. Savages, gang wars. This city crumbles.
Hey, welcome to Pop in Perspective. This is Jay, and I am a movie, TV enthusiast. I enjoy watching pretty much anything. Willing to go with dramas, comedies, Marvel, DC. I'll watch it all. And co-presenting is Akshay.
Yes, hey, my name's Akshay. You can call me AK. Yeah, I do love movies. I love following, all the movie drama, all the Hollywood gossip. I do love TV shows. I think TV shows is what I like mo mostly. I just like binging shows, watching theory crafting alongside week to week episodes. But what do we have on the docket here today, Jay?
Yeah, so I've all but given up on Marvel. Most of the stuff that's come out from the past few years have been mediocre to complete shit. I think Endgame was the peak. Everything else just feels like a shadow of the past films. You agree with that?
I kind of disagree. I mean, I definitely understand like Endgame, Infinity War, they were definitely the peak, and the pieces that kind of fallen apart, like the original Avengers team kind of split apart. Now we're kind of rebuilding it. We're in like the rebuilding phase. I think a bit like the like a dull phase, but I have a feeling once everything starts coming together, which we've started seeing twinkles of, like if you watch the Marvels, it kind of links together what happened in WandaVision. Somewhat with Secret Invasion, not so much. We really don't talk about that show. Jay, I won't spoil it for you, but on top of that, you have Guardians 3. I know you've seen that. I know you've seen Loki season 2. Wakanda Forever was brilliant. Shang-Chi was great. There was Moon Knight. There is Werewolf by Night or whatever that horror movie that came out last year. I have a feeling Marvel they have a lot of misses lately, but I have a feeling they're slowly getting on track, especially since they're taking this year off with only one movie coming out.
Why don't we talk about the character Echo or any background you have on her?
Yeah, I really don't know much about the character Echo. I mean, I know this the TV show comes out I think tomorrow or in a couple of days. I think it's January 9th. Definitely looks interesting. I wasn't much of a fan of the character in the Hawkeye TV show when she was introduced. I had nothing against her. I just felt like it was very underdeveloped, so I'm not sure where they're going to take this character or why we need a Echo TV show. I'm intrigued. It definitely looks interesting with the mature rating, but what do you think about it?
I really enjoyed Hawkeye. I think it was one of the better Marvel shows that came out. Echo was a forgettable character. When you told me about the fact that they're making a TV show Echo, I did not know who that was. So there's a lot to work with. I don't think that's a bad thing. There's a lot to work with because no one really knows about it.
Yeah,
So
so definitely we know Echo is going to be a prominent character. This is her show after all. I'm not sure how much screen time Kingpin or Daredevil will get. I think Kingpin will probably get much more screen time because he is the father figure slash he also did get shot by Echo and Hawkeye. So I think we'll definitely see him for a couple of episodes. Daredevil, I still think the Marvel is drip feeding him. They're doing the same thing they did with She-Hulk. They know people want to people are interested in the character. Like when they first announced She-Hulk, they're like, okay, interesting. Bruce Banner's cousin. I'm intrigued, but not like I'm gonna watch it day one. Same thing with Echo. We're not like, oh, we need to watch it day one. But I think that Daredevil puts people in the seats. So I think that's where Daredevil is. It's kind of like a ploy to get people to watch the show and to drive viewership, which it worked. I'm watching it, so I'm very interested on how many episodes or how much screen time he's going to get.
now I know we're gonna progress on to something that you enjoy the most, theory crafting. Any theories you got for us?
Yeah, so one theory that I've actually thought a lot about is How did Kingpin survive the bullet? Do you remember the ending of Hawkeye season one?
Yes. So that's
Yeah,
where we had Echo in a very dramatic scene, unexpectedly, basically having a Brutus moment of her own, shooting Kingpin in the eye.
exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not saying you can't survive against a good shot to the eye, but the probability, especially after that little battle sequence that been going on, a bomb explosion that happened a few blocks down, uh, by Kate Bishop, and then also the whole entire, New York, that the Christmas tree that fell into the ice rink. There's a lot of destruction that happened in that area, so I don't know how fast he could have gone to the hospital to get surgery. There's a lot of things that I'm like, how did he survive? Maybe he has super serum. It makes sense. Like, we know that super soldier serum is kind of in the black market through Falcon Winter Soldier. So I just wondering, like, do you have any thoughts about that?
So that is really interesting, right? Having the power broker, that's what they were called, right? So having
Yeah,
her come back,
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter, right? Having her come back in a sort of Kingmaker sense, I think that'd be pretty interesting. And if Kingpin did get the serum from her, we would assume that he's indebted to her in some way or form. So that'd be
That's
pretty interesting to
interesting.
tie her back
Yeah,
in. I'd like to see that. She's an awesome
I
actress. I wouldn't mind seeing more of her.
definitely know. Yeah, my theory is that prior to the Hawkeye TV show, if this is kind of connected to Daredevil, makes sense after the events of Daredevil season three that the Kingpin is going to want something that he can guarantee protection against Daredevil and against all the other street level heroes that are being developed. If they're going to bring in, Daredevil, I presume that means all of the Defenders are back. Plus, on top of that, Spider-Man's now become more street level again, so he has a lot of street level villains. I mean, yeah, villains in his eyes are heroes being built up in New York, so it makes sense that he would want to protect himself. We know from the TV show Falcon Winter Soldier that the soldier serum, that super soldier serum, has been in the black market, has been sold. I think through Madripoor, that Asian city that they visited in the TV show Falcon Winter Soldier. And we know the power broker is Sharon Carter, who is basically a drug dealer or gang dealer, or we don't really know her power or what exactly she does. She's in the mix, and then we also have the Contessa Val, who is also building up a team, which I do believe is going to be in the upcoming Thunderbolt TV show, Thunderbolt movie that's coming out next year as well. But there's a lot of like ground level things building up, so it would not surprise me that Kingpin had a favor called in so he can get this serum put into his body. That way he can protect himself for a situation like Echo or a situation like Daredevil or Spider-Man in the future. And I think it would be kind of badass to see Spider-Man and Kingpin face off. What did you think?
That'd be pretty interesting. So a slight recreation of Into the Spider-Verse, right? I mean,
I mean, that's
it
exactly. I mean,
wasn't.
Spider-Man is a King. I mean, Kingpin is a Spider-Man villain in the comics.
Yeah, no,
Like he always worked with like the with Doctor Ock or Norman Osborn and all that. Like he was doing a banker. Like he bankrolled the team, the Sinister Six for a while.
well, that'd be pretty interesting. Uh,
I would. I'm just saying, I would love to see the Sinister Six led by Kingpin against a Spider-Man, Tom Holland, in a near future. And then you could also bring in Daredevil in that fight. You can also bring in whoever the hell you want in that fight. Like I'm down for it. Like I just want to see like a powered up uh Kingpin face off against Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think that would just be a blast to watch on TV or on hopefully in theaters. One more thing before we move on. Like I said, I definitely like my theories. But one more thing, they doesn't have to be even tackled in Echo. Like all they have to do is mention I survived because of the serum that you got me, remember? And like just leave it at that, and then build upon that in Daredevil, because we know Daredevil Born Again, Kingpin is going to be the main villain. Now we're gonna have where Daredevil finds out that he took a serum, that's why he survived, and Daredevil is trying to do investigative work to see how to fight a powered up Kingpin. You know that they could play into that, and that way then you can bring in Val and the Daredevil show, or you can bring in the Power Broker and the Daredevil show. But like we all know, you're building up to a Daredevil show with She-Hulk and Hawkeye and Echo. Continue building it up. Feed me, drip feed me. I'm down for it.
Agree. I think that would be really fun. But to go with some comparisons, this does feel
Oh
like
yeah,
a shift in tone and something we were discussing, and we thought it's got more of an Andor feel to it. Something that, because even Star Wars is kind of on the struggle bus right now, right? So they had a trilogy that didn't do so well, and then they had a few TV shows that did well and a few that didn't. There was a lot of hype for Obi-Wan, but that had mediocre
yeah.
reviews. And then Andor came, totally out of the blue. Uh, we have a character from Rogue One, and it just does amazing. It's the best reviewed. They've done a lot of good work behind it. Do you think
I
this
would
is
go as
something
far as saying,
similar?
yeah, best acted. Yeah, I would go as far as saying best acting in this Witch and Star Wars project we've had since Empire Strikes Back, to be honest. But no, I definitely see his comparisons. I definitely, you're right, because that Echo came from Hawkeye, but she was an obscured character. Nobody really was asking for an Echo show, and same thing with Andor. Like, you're right, like he was a character, a small character, than one of the main characters of Rogue One, but an utterly kind of forgettable character from Rogue One. And then his TV show was a more serious, mature, grounded Star Wars project, and it was amazing, fantastic. So I see those comparisons. I definitely makes me intrigued. Definitely makes me intrigued.
All right, talking about the hype, where are you at here? So we stale, home cooked, or theater popcorn?
I kind of want to say theater pop, but I can't say theater pop because Echo didn't do anything for me in the Hawkeye show, and I just don't know if they're gonna nail the mature feel, the gravitas they're going for. I don't know if they're gonna be able to nail it, so I'm gonna go home cooked. I'm gonna be safe, but I really hope it's theater popped. What about you?
I'm gonna go more optimistic and call it theater popped, just because of
Ooh,
how hyped the trailers have been. So for me, it's gonna be theater popped because of the trailers, which looked awesome.
with that, yeah, my name is AK. Hope you continue follow us. We are the Popcorn Perspective. Come to us for any talk of comic book movies, pop cultural phenomenals, hype movies. We're gonna be talking about Dune 2 coming up here soon. Please like, subscribe, comment, any discussion. If you disagree with my theory, if you have any issues with the MCU, voice your opinions. We're here. We're gonna read them, and we'll shout out your comment next time.
Great. All right, guys. Peace.